In a world caressed by winds carrying whispers and rivers singing ancient melodies, people went about their lives, oblivious to the language of nature that surrounded them. Among them was Rowan, a quiet individual who spent most days by the lakeside, captivated by the reflections of the sky dancing on the water's surface. For Rowan, the wind didn't just rustle leaves, it told tales of faraway lands. The water didn't merely flow, it hummed a song of timeless serenity. From an early age, Rowan sensed that he was different, capable of understanding the elements like no one else. Friends and family often dismissed Rowan's claims as the overactive imagination of a daydreamer. Yet the sense of responsibility that washed over him whenever he conversed with the elements couldn't be ignored. Tonight was different, though. The wind carried a tone of urgency, and the water's song was tinged with sorrow. Something was amiss, and Rowan felt it deep within his bones. Listening intently, he deciphered the messages from the wind and water, feeling a sense of foreboding he couldn't shake off. Nature was speaking more loudly than ever, and Rowan knew he had to act. Rowan couldn't dismiss the calls of nature any longer. Ignoring the comments from others about his so-called daydreams, he journeyed deep into the heart of the forest, guided by the winds and flowing rivers. Arriving at a secluded clearing, he found himself in the presence of an ancient stone circle. Each stone was a monument to the elements: earth, air, fire, and water. As he stepped into the circle, he felt an intense connection to the world around him. Words from an ancient language flowed effortlessly from his lips as he began to communicate with the elemental spirits bound to the stones. They spoke of an imbalance that was growing stronger and endangering the harmony of the world. It was then that Rowan understood the weight of his gift. Not only could he communicate with the elements, but he could also restore balance to the world by uniting the elemental forces. As he left the stone circle, Rowan felt a newfound sense of purpose. The challenges ahead were uncertain, but he was now armed with the ancient wisdom needed to confront them. As weeks passed, the elements grew more restless. Thunderstorms raged without warning, wildfires spread through parched lands, and rivers overflowed their banks. The world was in disarray, yearning for equilibrium. Guided by the ancient language he now fluently spoke, Rowan returned to the stone circle. His eyes met the inscriptions carved on each monument, words that held the keys to calming the turbulent world. Summoning his courage, he began an incantation. Each word felt like a drop of water on parched soil, a spark in the chilling cold, a breeze in stifling heat. The elements listened intently, drawn to the power of his voice. The ground beneath him vibrated, the air around him pulsated, and for a brief moment, Rowan felt like the eye of the storm, calm yet surrounded by swirling chaos. As he uttered the final word of the incantation, a surge of energy burst forth from the stone circle. The elements bowed in respect, their rage quelled, their balance restored. Yet Rowan knew his journey was far from over. As Rowan stepped out of the circle, the elements whispered their gratitude. The sky above him was a canvas of vibrant hues, a perfect balance between the storm and the calm that followed. But Rowan also realized the gravity of his actions. The elements weren't just passive forces to be tamed. They had their own will, their own purpose. He knew that his role wasn't to control them, but to collaborate with them. This newfound understanding guided him as he returned to his community. He couldn't simply explain his absence or the inexplicable changes in weather. Instead, he chose to act in silent partnership with the elements to prevent future calamities. Rowan found ways to guide his community towards sustainable practices. Using his ability to communicate with nature, he located fresh water springs during droughts and predicted storms, allowing for timely evacuations. The people around him began to notice the positive changes, attributing them to luck or divine intervention. unaware that Rowan and the elements were silently safeguarding their world. Years passed, and Rowan grew older, but never weary. The weight of his responsibilities was now a part of him, woven into the fabric of his being like the ancient language he spoke. The community thrived, living in harmony with nature, though they never truly understood the guardian who walked among them. Rowan was content with that. Recognition was never his aim. As he stood by the lakeside one final time, feeling the wind caress his face and listening to the water's soothing melody, he knew his journey had come full circle. He took a deep breath, feeling the energy of the elements flow through him. In that moment, he knew he had fulfilled his purpose. With a final whisper to the wind and a soft touch to the water, he imparted his last blessings. Rowan's physical form dissolved, merging with the elements he had spent a lifetime understanding and balancing. He became a part of the world's harmony, a quiet whisper in the wind, a gentle ripple in the water, forever.